You'd think, at a Coldplay concert, the only thing breaking hearts would be the music, not a scandal. But that night in Boston, tens of thousands of fans witnessed a moment nobody expected. As the kiss swept across the crowd, it didn't land on young couples or pop stars, it zoomed in on Andy Byron, the powerhouse CEO of a billion-dollar tech giant, locked in a suspiciously intimate embrace with his own HR director. Chris Cat, no excuses, no awkward laughs, just darting eyes, a too-long hug, and a freeze frame that would change everything. On stage, Chris Martin tried to brush it off. "Oh, look at these two." He joked, but that single line instantly became meme fuel within 30 seconds. Andy Byron's carefully curated image as the king of data began to collapse. Social media went into meltdown. TikTok dissected every glance. Twitter exploded with hot takes, and Reddit spun theories by the minute. But the most shocking part, it hadn't even happened yet. Stick around by minute 11. You'll see why this was more than just an affair. This was the spark that would ignite the biggest tech controversy of the year. The moment Andy Byron and Chris Cat appeared on the Kiss cam, the stadium seemed to pause. At first, there was a ripple of confusion. Were they just friends, or was something more happening right in front of 60,000 people? But the way Andy ducked his head, the way Chris covered her face, it didn't look innocent. Within minutes, thousands of cell phones had captured the moment from every angle, flooding TikTok and Twitter with clips and instant reactions. Commentators broke down every second: the hand placement, the body language, even the split-second panic in Andy's eyes. One tweet went viral: "The divorce rate at Coldplay concerts is extremely low." But not zero. Memes exploded overnight, with t-shirts, parody accounts, and even fake apology statements circulating at lightning speed in less than an hour. What started as a private gesture was now a public spectacle, with every detail analyzed, mocked, and immortalized across the internet. Just as the internet caught its breath, a so-called apology from Andy Byron began circulating, beautifully written, almost poetic, quoting Coldplay lyrics about pain and redemption. For a moment, it felt real. But within hours, the truth surfaced: the statement was fake, posted by a parody news account. Still, the damage was done. Screenshots spread faster than corrections, and the lines between fact and satire blurred completely. Then came a second, even more bizarre apology. This time, the alleged statement said, "I have no regrets. I just wish Coldplay would make good music again." Instead of outrage, the internet broke out in laughter. Late-night hosts picked up the story. TikTokers edited the clip with dramatic music and snarky captions. He didn't just lose his wife, he lost the plot of his life. In a digital world hungry for content, Andy's scandal had transformed into dark comedy, and his reputation was unraveling in real time. While the world laughed and speculated, one person's silence became louder than all the noise: Megan Kerrion, Andy Byron's wife, or, as the internet quickly noticed, his ex-wife. Without a word, Megan quietly removed Byron from her Facebook profile. Then, just as swiftly, she disappeared from Instagram, leaving no trace of her old life behind. There were no statements, no dramatic interviews, just a total digital blackout. Suddenly, the tone on social media shifted. Hashtags like #SupportMegan and #HonorMegan started trending. One tweet with over 100,000 likes summed it up. No press conference needed, no tears, just a quiet act, and the whole world turned upside down. Comment sections filled with messages of support, respect, and heartbreak for Megan's dignity. In the storm of memes and rumors, it was her decision to say nothing that resonated most. For many, Megan became a symbol of silent strength, a queen in the middle of a media circus she never asked for. Beneath the memes and late-night jokes, a darker story began to surface. Andy Byron wasn't just any CEO. He was once hailed as a visionary, a data genius who turned lines of code into gold. But as the scandal exploded, old rumors about his leadership style resurfaced. Former employees took to Reddit and anonymous forums, describing a toxic work culture and Byron's obsession with control. He cares more about image than people, one ex-staffer wrote. Another added, "We warned everyone, but no one listened." As these accounts gained traction, journalists began digging through old Glassdoor reviews and internal leaks. Whispers of inappropriate relationships and fear-based management suddenly sounded prophetic. Meanwhile, Astronomer, the company Byron built, went silent. Its LinkedIn page froze. Byron's profile disappeared overnight. No statements, no apologies, just a vacuum that fueled even more speculation. The golden image he'd crafted for years was collapsing in real time, and the tech world was left questioning what they ever believed about Andy Byron. As the scandal went nuclear, Astronomer's public image crumbled almost overnight. The company's homepage went dark, no updates, no press releases, no sign of Andy Byron anywhere. Inside sources claimed the board held an emergency meeting, but there was only silence. Byron's LinkedIn and company bio vanished, and the HR director, Chris Catt, locked down all her social media. The message was clear: this was damage control, not transparency. Meanwhile, rival tech companies saw an opportunity. Suddenly, posts about ethical leadership and clear boundaries at work appeared across LinkedIn, never mentioning Astronomer or Byron by name. But everyone knew who they meant. Journalists began to question how much the board had known and why no one had stepped in sooner. Even competitors used the moment to quietly recruit Astronomer's rattled employees. For a billion-dollar tech company built on trust and innovation, the silence felt less like a PR strategy and more like a survival instinct. The fallout had only just begun. It didn't take long for the Byron scandal to leave the tech bubble and become a national punchline. Late-night hosts like Jimmy Fallon riffed on the Kiss Cam CEO, and Saturday Night Live staged a full-blown skit turning a Coldplay concert into a corporate trial. Memes flooded Instagram and TikTok. From fake HR training videos to Coldplay, gate parody merch. What started as a tense, personal drama became collective entertainment, a real-life series unfolding in 4K for millions. Meanwhile, amateur body language experts on YouTube broke down every frame of the infamous clip. Was that panic, guilt, or just shock? Comment sections turned into battlegrounds. Some viewers called for forgiveness. Others demanded accountability. And everyone had a theory. Even big names like Elon Musk joined in, tweeting cryptic comments about living by the algorithm, dying by the algorithm. In a matter of days, Andy Byron wasn't just a CEO in trouble, he was a symbol of how quickly reputation, power, and privacy can disappear in the age of viral scandal. As the meme storm raged, a more serious conversation took over. Commentators, HR experts, and journalists began debating the real issue: workplace ethics and power imbalances in tech. When the CEO is caught in a public scandal with his own HR director, no less, it raises doubts about everything from company culture to leadership accountability. One viral article put it bluntly: if the head of HR is protecting the CEO, who's protecting the employees? LinkedIn became a forum for hot takes, with insiders questioning if anyone knew about the relationship or if everyone had just chosen to look the other way. Some pointed out that for years, complaints about Byron's conduct were dismissed because of his results. Now, the silence from Astronomer's leadership spoke volumes. As one journalist wrote, "When your brand is built on trust, it only takes one betrayal to destroy it all." The scandal wasn't just about an affair anymore. It was a referendum on the values and blind spots of the entire tech industry. By the end of the week, the fallout was everywhere. Astronomer's reputation was in shambles. Investors and partners distanced themselves, and rumors swirled about mass resignations. Andy Byron became a cautionary tale overnight, his face now a meme for tech arrogance and the price of bad decisions. But amid all the chaos, Megan Kerrion's quiet dignity left the strongest mark. Supporters called her a queen of silence, holding herself with more composure than any press team could manufacture. Online, debates raged. Was Megan's silence an act of strength, or was she simply left out of the narrative? Was Andy Byron a villain, or just another executive who believed his private life was untouchable? Comment sections were a mix of empathy, outrage, and curiosity. But one thing was clear in the digital era: trust is fragile and once broken, nearly impossible to repair. for Astronomer, for Andy Byron, and for Megan. Nothing would ever be the same after those 30 seconds on the big screen. And so, everything circled back to that single, fateful moment on the kiss. Cam, a flash of intimacy projected onto a giant screen for tens of thousands to see, and millions more online, in just 30 seconds. Years of carefully managed reputation and trust vanished. What started as a concert highlight became a cautionary tale for every leader who thinks privacy still exists in a world of 4K cameras and viral clips. The true shock wasn't just the affair, but the speed how fast the internet could destroy an image, a company, even a marriage. In the end, Megan's silent exit became the loudest message of all sometimes. You don't have to speak to change the story. Andy Byron, once celebrated as the king of data, became a symbol of how power and ego can collapse in an instant. But here's the question no one can answer. Was this just an unlucky coincidence? Or did it expose a culture of silence and complicity in tech? What do you think? Did Megan win by staying quiet? Or was she just another victim of the system? Drop your thoughts below. The story isn't over until you weigh in.